Hey guys, Jared here with another great wedding film school behind the scenes. And we chose this location because we thought it was one of the best locations to showcase a great downtown city location. We shot this wedding back in February of 2022. It's just now coming out because we had a hell of a year trying to get out more wedding films than we've ever shot before and train a lot of brand new people on our team. So just getting around to it. Sorry about that. I know we've been teasing it for months, and we do have another one coming out soon, so the teasing isn't quite done yet. If you want to watch this wedding film, you're going to want to either wait to the end of the film, click on the link that we're going to show, or you can just skip ahead, of course. And we're going to be able to show you the full film in its entirety, as well as a critique of the film from our perspective as well. So if you're into that, make sure you stick around and watch that additional kind of companion video to this behind the scenes film to see if we're all talk or if we're actually any good. So I think that's totally fair, and we want to hear your critiques of the film as well. I think that's totally fair. We do plenty of film critiquing on our end. Now it's your turn. Turn it back on us and critique the hell out of us. I don't care. Great film for you today. Some things to keep an eye on, I think, in this film is some of the portrait work was pretty challenging. We didn't film any portraits in normal daylight, which is kind of weird for a wedding, but pretty common for a winter wedding, at least for us up here in the Northeast. So we did a lot of lighting in this film. And then also, I think something that a lot of probably newer filmmakers can take away from this film is just the interaction between the photographer and in between the staff. I think we won a lot of friends on this film and really helped other people, and we were an aid to the other creative part of the process, and really helped them kind of create a good experience for the bride and groom as well. This was a last-minute wedding for us. We booked probably a month beforehand. The bride was kind of back and forth on whether or not she wanted us. And then they pulled the trigger and they said it was one of the best decisions that they ever made. So always glad to hear that. I think they wrote us a great review on the Knot afterwards, but really great experience overall. Really proud of the work that we were able to produce. In this case, this was just myself shooting. I did have Richie assisting me, and he was a whole lot of help. We talk a little bit about that as well, just what the team looks like, which is something that's, I think, pretty important for people to figure out going into any kind of shooting scenario. Is what does my team look like? How do I conquer these problems? So some things to pay attention to. I'm going to shut up now and just get right into the film. Again, make sure you stick around for the end so you can click on a link to watch the full film in its entirety.
This is gonna be the best day ever. You got me looking so fresh. I can't get no better. Baby, I'm a T-Rex, ready to rumble, ready to flex. I'm the king of the jungle. Gonna be the best day ever.
All right, so we're here in Boston. More specifically, we're in a parking garage in Boston where it's actually warm because upstairs it's actually really cold right now and very, very windy. But we're here, we're filming a wedding in downtown Boston. And one of the reasons why we wanted to do this wedding is to show you a city wedding, also a luxury wedding, and some of the challenges that we come across when we're filming those two combined. The good news for us is that everything is happening pretty much in the same space. So the bride is getting ready at a hotel, which is right across the street from the venue. We are doing our wedding today at the Boston Public Library, which is where the ceremony and the reception is happening. So everything is pretty centralized, which should make that part of the day really easy. Sunset is at about 5:30 today. So that means that we're not gonna have a lot of natural light to film. So we're here, we're gonna be filming a little bit of B-roll right now because, again, I'm not sure kind of what the rest of the day is gonna be, if we're gonna have time to film B-roll later in the day. So we're here early and we'll see how it turns out upstairs. Let's go do it. Okay, so one of my pet peeves about city weddings is when we start the film out in a hotel room. I can't stand that because it really doesn't give a lot of background to the location or setting that we're filming in. So we're gonna go outside, we're gonna film some B-roll downtown Boston. I brought a tripod because I do like to film B-roll with a tripod. I'm probably gonna do a little bit of handheld as well. Kind of depends on the shots. I have my, essentially my 70 to 200 lens here, and then I also have my handheld rig with a 24-70, which I'll probably be doing a little bit of, yeah, handheld work with this guy. And we'll vary, we'll kind of bounce back and forth. Let's go outside and freeze our butts off. All right, so let's talk about storytelling when we're filming some B-roll. You know, sometimes I think you just film maybe a building or you know, some B-roll shots because it's in your surrounding area, maybe it's showing the setting. Other times, I think when you can tell the story with the shot that you're getting, show off a location, maybe even show some letters on a building, I think it goes a long way in your overall storytelling approach. So, for example, right now I'm shooting a shot of the public library. I know that we're gonna use this shot probably halfway through the film to show off, hey, we're walking over to the public library. So I'm probably gonna shoot actually a lot of the letters on top of the building. So we could even do, you know, spell it out. Like it says, the public library of the city of Boston built by the people, kind of doing different shots like boom, 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 really quick to just convey some meaning there. We'll see how it turns out. I just pulled this lens up and my focus, my infinity focus, so like the farthest point of the lens is not sharp at all. So this lens is broken. So I'm gonna probably change out this lens for another telephoto that I brought, thank God, and get better B-roll shots so they're not all out of focus the entire day. So we're back here inside. We just had some lunch and we're about to go upstairs and say hello to the bride. This is Richie, by the way. Richie's gonna be helping me today. He's gonna be assisting and carrying all my stuff and helping out with audio and shooting a little bit as well because there's some pressure points during the day, a little bit of bottlenecks. So we're gonna go up, say hello to the bride, start filming some of the details. All right, so we're here at the room. We are about to go say hello to the bride. We're here about an hour before the photographer, which I typically like to be here a little bit earlier than them, just so we can film a little bit of their dress, shoes, jewelry, a lot of the detail shots without being in the way of the photographer. So we're here a little bit early. We're gonna go in, we're gonna try to, you know, make friends and say hello. And yeah, just kind of have a really small footprint, be a fly on the wall. So let's head on in, we'll say hi. Hello. How's it going? Is Caroline in the house?
Caroline?
Oh, there she is. Hey, good to see you. Very good. How are you? Feeling good today? This is Jason. Yeah, he's gonna be helping out today. Good, good. I heard we ran across one of your friends at the coffee shop this morning. One of his buddies, I don't know if he was in the wedding party. I think he was like Addison or something. Yeah, okay, yeah. Woo. Good, I got his name right. Well, I don't want to film a lot of you guys just hanging out yet. I'll probably wait a little bit. And then, but right now, yeah, I'd like to get your things. So like jewelry, hair, makeup, kind of stuff. So is there a person that knows where all your things are, like your jewelry and dress? No? I can wait until like you're in a place where you can show me too. If yeah, sorry. Perfect. Love it. Oh, beautiful.
Okay,
This is great.
I'm borrowing from my mom's friend, but I
Okay.
will lose my life if I lose.
Gotcha. We'll do those last.
So those
Make it easy.
You lose my engagement ring over this.
Okay. So I'm gonna turn these lights off, wherever they are. I don't know where they are. Where are the lights in this room? Here they are.
Oh my God.
Oh, that gets really dark, huh? So the room is pretty dark, but I kind of like it. It kind of creates this really cool, moody vibe, which we're gonna roll with. Probably gonna stay over in this corner of light. So I'm gonna just start bringing things over. I'll probably use the veil to put on this table a little bit and play around with it. And yeah, just kind of see what we come up with. So let's get to it. I'm gonna use this veil to stage all my items over here. And generally, like I had said, I really like to get here before the photographer so that once she comes, I'll be completely out of the way and I can just help her however I can. This by itself takes a lot of work, just taking these items out of bags and making them look pretty. So if I can save the photographer some time, I know that's gonna win me some points and make me much more likable from the photographer's perspective. And, you know, if you are really likable and the photographer and you hit it off, they could potentially refer you in the future. So this is one of the things that I do, like to give a little bit of service and offer some value to the photographer before we've ever even met. So definitely a little bit of a video hack for sure.
The thing I like about veils too is they kind of have this cool layer effect, so I can put the shoes under the veil and kind of make them a little bit more of like a background kind of feature, and then I can put the rings on top and make them just pop a little bit more.
I love window light like this, clearly. It's really easy to work with, especially when they have these, I want to call these scrims, and I know they're not called scrims, but we'll just use a really technical term. Are they called like shims or something? I forget what they're called.
I don't know if you're referring to what you're...
This thing.
Shears.
Shears, yeah, shears. Shears is what this is called. I like to use these so then I can just kind of play with my light, put it away. It creates a little bit more harsh light, bring it in front of the subject, and it's going to create a little bit more diffusion, which is nice as well. So I'll probably play with a couple different looks and disperse light accordingly. So obviously, you know, we're filming wide angle, so I'm probably going to try to fill up as much of the frame as possible, kind of thinking with horizontal lines a little bit. We'll just see how this looks, and we'll make subtle changes as we go. So right now I'm just doing some like parallax shots. I really like them for detail, especially if your camera has decent IBIS. Just doing a little bit of rotation, staying true to your main subject, which in this case to me is whatever diamond is biggest, to be honest. So focusing in on her rings, kind of keeping the shoes as a kind of secondary feature of these shots.
I think one of the perks of also doing photography, which I kind of dabble in both, is knowing how to do lay flats, which honestly is a skill that not a lot of videographers have that I've seen. Usually if someone's going to do a lay flat, they're kind of relying on whatever the photographer is offering them. I think the main thing is knowing good composition in general and achieving a good sense of balance between kind of all items. So if I was going to incorporate some flowers in here, you just want it to feel balanced when you're looking down at your lay flat. Things might be separated a little bit. You want things to be connected in a certain way, obviously, but if I wanted to create a little bit of distance between certain things, just be a little bit intentional and think about kind of what you're doing and what you're putting into it. In this case, I really want to see some of this cool print here, so I'm going to incorporate some of that. And then, yeah, we'll see how something like this plays out.
I'm just going to shoot this one shot straight down and allow them to do a little bit of work in post.
I'm doing it a lot in a row because I suck at shooting. So I'm just trying to get the movement right. It's kind of a weird move because you're doing a focus roll and a move. So yeah, just trying to get the feel right.
You know, something that a lot of people asked me about the last video that we did was the hold fast, specifically, and using this. And I love this thing. I love this thing for handheld shooting because it allows me to get shots like this and really use my weight against the camera to create a sense of tension on the line here. So it allows me to almost like push my camera forward and create, I just think, a little bit more smooth shots than what I would be able to do if I was just hand holding here, where it can get a little bit more wristy. So I do like to push my camera forward, create a little bit of tension on the line, and just create a more stable shot in general. So I love this hold fast. It allows me to carry two cameras at the same time. I lost the camera, it's over there. Two cameras at the same time, and then also an Ona bag on the back, so I can carry a little bit of everything, batteries, multi-tool, everything that a person like me would need. So, all right, so we have this beautiful dress, and I'm just trying to decide where to put it. You know, we could put it over by the window light. I could hang it on that picture over there. But But I don't know, there's something about just it kind of hanging on this chandelier, which I don't always get the chance to have a cool chandelier like this in the middle of the room, that I think is a little bit unique. I'll probably shoot it on a kind of wider angle, like a 23 millimeter, 24 millimeter, and hopefully it can, yeah, just pop off the screen a little bit more with having kind of a wider handheld type shot. The other thing is, it's gonna be really fast for me to do that. So with the gimbal, I just want to get a shot with the dress. I think it's just a little bit more appropriate in this case. I'll probably do a little bit of parallax shots, and we'll just see how they go. And if I don't like them, I'll go back handheld. Okay, so it just started snowing outside. I'm just trying to get a little bit of flurries in the background. I don't know if these shots are any good, but they look kind of cool. Okay, so that went really well. It started snowing outside a little bit, so hopefully we'll get a little bit of snowing photos outside with the bride and groom a little bit later. We're gonna head over to the dudes right now and get some prep. The planner is gonna show us over that way. And yeah, we'll see you over there. So guys are a lot of fun, clearly, as you can hear from the other room. We showed up, they're already ready, so totally fine. We'll probably just do some pickup shots over here while we're here. Head back over to the bride, get some shots of her getting the final zip into her dress. And then it's off to the first look after that. Sure. You need, yeah, I can help you out. Yep.
Let me make this chair first, actually.
Sure. I would say even if we put it in that corner, could we fit it through that doorway?
This doesn't need to be a moment.
Or even next to that mirror, but you probably want to see, have her some shots of her looking at herself in the mirror. Dad just got here. Bride is getting in her dress right behind us right now. And we're gonna get some great shots of her and mom. So it's really pretty.
We'll reenact. Is it which hill do you want?
And then I like, I'm gonna be walking, fix my dress out.
I love those shoes.
Thank you, I bet you've seen it a lot.
So Dad's here. We're gonna bring him in. They're gonna do a first look, and then we're gonna show her off to the girls. Okay, so just talked to the photographer, super nice. We are gonna find a first look location because it's so windy, it's so cold outside, and her dress is like paper thin, so she's gonna freeze outside if we take her outside. So we're probably gonna do the first look inside. I wanna talk to her about that, but we're gonna find some alternatives inside, downstairs first. So we're going for a walk, all the details are done. We're gonna see how it ends up. Yeah, so this is interesting, Richie, because we could literally put them anywhere in here. The only thing that I'm kind of worried about is the mirrors. Yeah, it's like, I think I like the big ballroom best. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'll bring it up to her. So we've decided that we're gonna do the first look in this huge, beautiful ballroom. Would we be able to take some photos of them in the ballroom over there?
I do need to confirm with the manager.
Of course.
Just one moment.
Of course.
okay?
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so, all right, so that kind of limits our options. You know, I think what we'll just have to do is probably do it in one of these hallways or maybe in this kind of lobby. There's a security guy. We'll see if he boots us.
Emotional as well. It's really cute. She did a little dress up with her dad.
Do you want her walking in that side? What do you think?
So have him start off facing that way.
Sure, yeah, I think that's great. Yeah, so Jake, look that way, and you can actually take a big step that way too. Does that work for you if he's right there? And I'll come over this way. Okay, so we're about to do the first look. We are in kind of a side room here, and because it's snowy and a little bit wet, and it's still really windy and cold outside, she is coming down right now, and we have it lit. We're kind of doing something a little bit different, which is fun, and we'll see how it goes. So we'll see you in there. I'll make it whiter, Richie. My white balance is like 34. 34, 36, something like that. Okay, so we're gonna do some more photos in this hallway. First look was good. It looked different for sure. It was sweet, they really like each other, so that makes things really easy on our end. And yeah, it's really great. Oh, no, I like the wide shot. Hey guys, you guys can keep on walking. We're gonna go to the other hallway where it's a little less crazy. Cool. Love that. Cool. We're gonna film them right now, doing family portraits, and then we're gonna head over to the library and do another portrait session with the bride and groom. So everyone always asks, like, what do you shoot with wedding party photos and family photos? Do you use it in your films? For me, like, I always like to film everyone who's important to the couple, mainly because you never know when they're gonna want footage of the people that they love. So I always film it. We don't always use every single shot, obviously, and I'd say we tend to lean away from using really much of it at all. But you can always add it if we want to add video of specific people that they ask for. So we always shoot it, try to get one shot of every single person's face throughout the day. And yeah, so then at least we have it if we need it.
Oh yeah! Whoa! Woo! Oh my gosh! Out of nowhere.
nowhere. That was one of the weirdest things that's ever happened to me shooting. We walked outside, it wasn't snowing at all, and out of absolutely nowhere it started snowing, like downpour snowing. It was so strange. But we got some really cool looking footage, I hope. We'll see what it looks like when we pull it up, but getting excited because beforehand some of the portrait stuff was just kind of, you know, run-of-the-mill stuff. That's kind of epic and super unique, so really excited to get what we're about to get in here because this is an amazing venue. So let's go take a peek. Smile through the pain, is that what's going on?
Yeah.
You are crushing it though. Love that. Hands on each other, there we go, like that. Now warm those arms up. Really pretty. Looking towards us. Think about warm places, think about Cabo, right? What's that, in a couple weeks, Cabo? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to plug in audio for the ceremony. Today we're using the Zoom H6. This is a 6-channel recorder, which is really great. Pretty good price as well. We've had them for years. But I'm just gonna plug straight to the back of his PA system here. I think it's a little bit easier. It allows us to capture whatever's coming out of his system. So if he screws up, it's screwed up on our side too, but I think the idea is that he'll be less likely to screw up his own thing as opposed to screwing up a line of audio through the board. So generally, personally, I don't think it's the best way that you can probably get audio out of a board, but it is probably the most consistent way because if he screws up, everyone here would know he screws up. And so I think it's a little bit more accountable when we're plugging into the back of the PA system. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna talk to the DJ whose sound system this is. You always wanna make sure you're talking to these people before you plug in. Make sure you're not just plugging in to their system because that's annoying to them and it could create some tension and we don't want that. So I'm gonna go find out whose it is and go from there. So Jason told me that I should go through this a little bit more. So what we're doing is we're actually only gonna use 4 channels. We're gonna use the LR for kind of room noise. A little bit echoey in here, but it kind of gives it, I think, some dimension, gives us another track. Probably won't use it to be honest, but I like it as a backup just in case. I have an XLR splitter here, so this is 2 channels. And what that allows me to do is to have a high and a low straight into 1 channel. So essentially anything coming out of the PA system, I can capture 2 different levels. So if someone's holding the microphone really close, this is probably gonna sound great. And if someone's holding the microphone really far away, my high is gonna be able to capture that as well. So it kind of gives us a little bit more options in post. So that's the idea. I'm also going to have an H2 as well, which I'll put in front of the speaker. And that will be an additional backup for us as well. We're also gonna put a lavalier on the groom and then potentially a lavalier on the officiant. We'll see. I heard she might not be down for that, but we're gonna double check with her to make sure. All right, so now I'm gonna figure out my camera positions. I'm gonna be filming from 3 different camera angles. So we're gonna do a wide shot, we're gonna do a tight shot, and we're gonna have a gimbal. This is a pretty tough room, to be honest, because there's pillars, there's this big gap of light in the middle of this room, and then a big spot of light up front. So the camera positions are tough, and then also where the lighting is gonna be is also very tough. So I'm gonna see if we can get up into, there's some really cool rafters here. I'm gonna see if we can get into those, and then we can go from there. This will be our wide shot, so this way we can just avoid these pillars that are in the middle of the room that are obstructing pretty much every single view in this entire room are obstructed by pillars. So this is probably our best angle. It's a high angle, so we'll be able to see everything. I'm just gonna make it super wide We're gonna fill this kind of dark area with some lights. So obviously super bright up here, which is great. I love having a lot of light, but as soon as I walk over out of the light where they're gonna be walking, you can see it gets really dark. I'm gonna be pretty silhouetted, and just it's bad light value in general. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a light up on that balcony over there. I'm gonna shine it down this way so I'm hitting kind of this dead area and filling it so I can see people's faces as they're walking down the aisle. As far as like where I'm gonna stand, Kay, is I'm probably gonna be here, and then as they're coming down, I'll probably make my way around and just kind of spend most of my time right behind this pillar, like overlooking at them here, if that's okay with you.
I'm gonna be far back.
Perfect, yeah.
Are you okay if I'm like here?
Not at all, yeah, it's totally fine. Because I'm tall, so I can like
I
do
don't
things.
have that luxury.
Yeah. So ceremony's about to start. We got our positions all blocked out. Let's get it started. So the officiant asked us not to move, so we are gonna start here. We're gonna make our way around to the very back of the room eventually. We'll see how it goes. This is a little tight, but it's gonna be fun.
You ready to do this, Reggie? I was born ready.
Our ancestors. We now entrust this heritage to you. By your acceptance, you agree to what you have promised when you signed this document. Enhance it with your commitment and devotion. This hoopla, sending blessings forward. Everyone, go ahead. Take a look at everyone. So beautiful. Keep your hands there. Because as you are doing this, we are pausing to hold on to this moment just a little while longer and to pray silently that God will bless your home. And we as helpers, as a protective force, spreading our arms over you, we pray that God and all of us will help you to achieve your highest hopes. So we put this blessing forward to you.
You're good. Okay, so ceremony went really well. We did 2 camera angles for the entirety, a wide shot, tight shot. The lights ended up turning out really good. They looked awesome. They matched the environment really well. No one complained about our lights because we had them off the floor. They were on 12-foot stands. I think I probably had them on like 10 feet. One of them was on about 10 feet. The other one was high up on a rafter, so it was out of people's eye line. No one complained, no one even noticed those lights were there, so it looked really, really good. Something that did happen that could have been disastrous was the officiant's microphone was not on for the entirety of the ceremony. And if it was really, really low. So it's just really important to have backups. And in this case, I had a microphone on the Groom, another microphone on the Efficient, the DLR-10s. And in this case, it saved our butts. It gave us great audio. And honestly, I usually use those as my main source no matter what. But in this case, it acted as a backup and it came through. So having backups is super important because audio, it's the thing that you're not going to be monitoring the entire time that you're filming. So really important. I think it came out really great. We reviewed all the footage and it looks awesome, sounds awesome. Let's head upstairs. We're gonna film some cocktail hour and shoot some details. Oh. These stairs are hard enough when there's not traffic jams. You're not carrying a bunch of gear. How we doing?
Oh no, my left foot is just killing me.
Is it? Yeah, like my right toe. Dude, you're getting old, man. All right, so let's check out Bates Hall. Okay, so welcome to Bates Hall in the Boston Public Library, one of the most extraordinary wedding venues in downtown Boston. It's absolutely stunning. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna shoot a little bit of tablescapes while cocktail hour is going on. There's no portraits happening right now. So we're gonna let them party a little bit, get some drink, and we're gonna film some really cool tablescapes before heading into cocktail hour and filming people having a little bit of fun. So in a room like this, you really don't have to do a lot of lighting. I could light some of these things and spend a little bit of time throwing some of the Aperture 60s on some of these tablescapes and creating some more maybe interesting light. But seeing that we're kind of on limited time, I am gonna skip that because the lighting in here is already 90% there. It looks really good. It's a really cool room. I'd rather focus on maybe getting some tighter gimbal stuff than lighting it. So I'm just gonna keep on shooting some of these details on the tables. This butter actually looks really good. There's a little bit of, looks like rosemary. Should I film the butter?
No, that's time.
Time? Butter.
This is exactly what you shoot in your first year as a filmmaker.
Yeah. You're like, look at this depth of field on this butter. Yep. And salt.
I got my film, I love it, but you don't love trust butter.
I do think these fake candles are the best in biz. They are so real looking. They just need to have a little bit of flicker, I would say. If I was gonna be like a critic, which I am. Yeah, you're right, these cards are doing weird things, Richie. I don't know what's what. I don't want to take them both out. Get a new one. Where are the cards? H2N. This is the H2N, and so the H2N will capture whatever's coming out of the speaker. So if anything goes wrong, if we have a bad cable or something that I'm not around to double check it, we just have another source running. This thing saves my butt. It's actually a really nice sounding microphone. And I think they're only like 150 bucks. So they're super cheap, super easy to set up. Ideally, you're putting this as close as you possibly can to the speaker and bringing your volume down. And generally, if I'm barely seeing bars, that means that whatever comes out of the speaker is going to be pretty nice. So we're gonna set that up. I'm actually gonna start recording it now because I don't care if it records for 2 hours because the files are so small. So I'm gonna start now, so if things start really fast, I don't have to run over here all the way across the room, push play. I can just know that it's already recording, tons of battery life, we're good to go. So I introduced you guys to Richie earlier, who's just the man. I love Richie. He's been working with us for 3 or 4 years. He shoots his own weddings, but he wanted to help assist today. Richie, he just loves being on camera. He looks really good. He makes me look really good. So I invited him to come along and help today. But let's talk about the role of an assistant, because I think it's a role that maybe it gets confused with the second shooter. I love having an assistant if I don't have a second shooter, because the assistant is going to do things like check my audio and do basic things that when I'm not around a certain thing, if I'm not around a camera, he can double check the camera. He can make sure everything is running really well. If I need him to run and grab batteries, if I need him to run and grab a coffee, I have someone to be able to do these things, which sounds silly, but at the end of the day, I think is really important to have just a runner, someone who's here who can help if you need help. And also at the same time, guys, if you're looking to train your own staff, what are you doing if you don't have an assistant helping every single wedding, becoming a second you? You want to clone yourself so that this person can eventually second shoot for you, and they can eventually even lead shoot and become an associate of yours. So I love the assistant role. It's something that we've always used to train up our people and just find really good people. So that's a little bit of a hack. If you're looking to grow your business, find a good assistant.
This is the most epic cake shot I've ever shot in my life. If I could do it straight and not like a dumb idiot, it would make my career.
All right, so having Richie bring a light right where I am. The area is really well lit, just in general. The one spot where there's not much light is by the door where they're going to be speaking from. So I want to get a light right here and hit the doorway. Dude, look how good this looks. I mean, Jason's still in the shot, but imagine if someone was like good looking there. Jay can't hear anything that I'm saying about him right now. We love you, Jason.
We are now going to introduce for the first time Jacob and Caroline. Come on, everyone. Here we go. And right now I'm going to invite up the parents of the bride. So let's make some noise, everyone, for Marjorie and Rob.
Good evening. Welcome. We are so thrilled and more than a little bit grateful and appreciative that we can at long last welcome you to Caroline and Jake's wedding.
Okay, so we did the toast in this little doorway, and halfway through, the mother and the father's light went out, so we had to change the battery over. And now they're moving their speech location from under the doorway to this middle aisle that I'm standing in now. So I'm trying to find my lanes. There's gonna be one toast where there's 4 people giving a toast, and then the second one is gonna be 3 people, 3 bridesmaids giving a toast. So it's gonna be a little bit crammed and crowded and crazy, but should be fun. We'll see. I'm gonna try to find my lanes now. And there's gonna be 4 people up there. I think it's just gonna be like impossible to. People? Yeah, the first one is 4 people, the second one is 3 people. So it's like, why? I don't know. I feel like I'm in the woods right now. Like I can't.
But in all of her poise and beauty and intelligence and laughter and generosity, she surprises me all the time. And I know I surprised her by being the fun sister. So.
We're so excited to celebrate with everyone. And Caroline and Jake, we love you so much. So if everyone could please raise their glass, we'll see you on the dance floor.
So since our wide angle is here, and I want to see the really cool murals on this walls everywhere. They're awesome. I want to do a little bit of crossfire action, so I'll put my lights at a 45-degree angle. I'll put them to my left and to my right so that I'm shooting this way. I'm not going to have a light shooting right back at this camera. That can be cool if you're doing it that way, but in this case we have 2 awesome lights. The room is actually lit really well, so I'm not going to add a whole lot of punch to these lights, but it should give it a little bit of a contrast. So in the middle of the subject, they'll probably be a little bit darker, and then there's gonna be like rim light on both sides. So that's the idea, that's the concept. We'll see how it turns out when we get the lights set up. These lights are at about probably 9 feet, which I think is perfect. 9 feet height, perfect. I'm tired now. Cool.
You want some water?
I would love a water. You want water, Jay? Oh, thank you so much. So the bride and groom are about to give a speech and invite people into the dance floor. So we're gonna have to do this thing where Richie is literally sitting by the audio recorder, and as soon as they finish the speech, he's gonna pull it out of this PA system and bring it into the other room like that, lightning. So everything's happening really quickly. I can reach it.
Space, everybody. Make a great big circle. Make a big circle.
Fuck out of it. Okay, so we're wrapping up the end of the night. They're about to do parent dances. It's about 11 o'clock, so it's a late one for sure. We are in there. It's just pink. Like the entire room is just this pink floodlights. It's even hard for my 60Xs to kind of compete with it and try to shape the light a little bit. So yeah, I'm just kind of letting it fly, capturing what I can, trying to get some more shots of just the bride and groom isolated. So I'm gonna head in now and shoot the parent dances. Hopefully get a solid half an hour dance floor stuff. Get out of here. Well, guys, this has been an exhausting one. I gotta be honest. This is late at night. It's probably 11:30 right now, and I probably have to go upstairs and do another half an hour of dance floor footage. We've been here since 9 a.m., so it's been a long one for sure, but I think overall a really good one. We had a lot of challenges we had to overcome: the weather, the wind, just the elements outside, which was challenging. We weren't able to film outside as much as I had really hoped to. We had to substitute and find some spaces in some spaces that really weren't that friendly to us being able to shoot. But overall, I'm really happy with what we got today. I think we got some awesome footage of the bride and groom. They're super happy. And I think we're gonna be able to put something really great together for this couple. But we'll see. We'll get in the edit bay and we're gonna do another video where we'll be showing you the final video and be reviewing ourselves on how we did today. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time right here, Wedding Film School.